You also shared your age here, which some recording artists will not do.
Hmm.
And before I even ask you this next question, care to share the birthday as well, the month and the day, perhaps?
Yeah, I was born June 21st, 1993. So that makes me a Gemini Cancer cusp.
And asking you just in case there's some misinformation online about you in regards to that. But as mentioned here, why no problem sharing your age on camera? Because there are some recording artists that will not.
Yeah, I think that shit is goofy. That's kind of like my whole like I'm here to bring realness. I'm here to bring authenticity. I'm here to let you know that you shouldn't be ashamed. I know people like to think, oh yeah, rappers, a young man. Like I've had so many people tell me, oh, you didn't make it by 25. You need to hung. It's like a turning 30 for rappers is kind of similar to like turning 30 for women. You know how like the whole online red pill community likes to be, oh, if she's 30, she's what is it? She hit the wall and shit like that, and she's just useless. That like it's kind of the same thing for rappers. It's like, oh, you're a over 30 rapper and you haven't made it yet, like what the fuck are you doing? So it's very common practice in the industry to lie about your age and things of that nature. But to me, it's like I just think that shit is goofy. I'm just like I'm never gonna put myself in a circumstance where I have to like keep a lie going or like hide certain aspects of myself. So that's really my whole brand, just showing you the whole me, the from the bald head to the me not being from people lie about being from the streets, lie about being gangsters. It's like everybody just needs to quit fucking lying. And if you want to rap, just rap. That's it.
And we'll talk about your transparency a little bit further in this conversation. But before we get to that, a few other details about how you got into music and things of that nature. So, um, you know, it's one thing for one to just listen to the music, like be a consumer of it, especially someone in their youth. It's another to jump on a mic, record their voice, listen to the playback of that, create a song, so on and so forth. What got you over the hump, so to speak, from just being a fan of some recording artists and listening to their music to actually getting behind the mic yourself? Because some don't get that far.
Right. Yeah. I think it's all about. See, I've always had good taste. Like I used to. So this kind of goes back to the high school question. When I stopped playing basketball, I really got into like partying a lot. So and I would DJ a lot of parties. So I was always the guy like back when we had aux chords. It's like, oh, hand Uno the aux. He gonna put on some fire shit. He gonna put on the best. So I knew I always had good taste in music. So and like I said, I was in college rapping, bored. Um, like I actually, first time I made a song that I really liked, I cried because it was like, yo, I never knew I could make something that like people want to listen to. Because I was a super music, like I love music, like that was my whole thing. But like, I never saw myself as a artist. So when I finally made a song that I'm like, and I trusted my own taste enough to be like, no, okay, if I'm the guy who always knows good sounding stuff, then what's I can say my stuff sounds good. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm using the same ear, so I just kind of always trusted my taste.
And did that first song that you cried to, did that song go public?
Yeah, that one's actually still on my SoundCloud. It's a song called "Off Day." Yep, and I kind of like made my first official tape off of like bringing a whole bunch of singles that I released and putting them into a project. So that's still on my SoundCloud now, under the project Holy Trinity. But yeah, Off Day was like my first serious single to the world. Okay, guys, I'm not Nigel anymore. I'm Saint Uno.
And why not stick to DJing? Because uh, ironic that your mixtape, your first mixtape was called Rabbit Hole. But, speaking of rabbit holes, once, some that start DJing, they get into a rabbit hole. That becomes a career path for them. Why the switch to the rapping side of things and not just stick with the DJing and going down that rabbit hole instead?
Yeah, it's I'm like a really intuitive person, and I just follow my heart. So as much as I love DJing, as much as I love playing basketball, as much as I love even filmmaking, camera work, I love all these things. But like I said, I cried when I made that first song. So once that was kind of like the confirmation to me. It's like, no, this is your calling. This is what you're doing. Who cares if people think you're crazy? Who cares if people think it's whack? Like, I just trusted that intuition. Nothing really resonated with me as deeply as making music did.
And you mentioned the phrase rap during this conversation. Is that the genre of music you consider yourself in? And if not, a subgenre perhaps?
Yeah, you can say rap. It's rap. I feel like a lot of rapper has a lot of baggage on it, and people think like, oh, I don't want to. Like it's like cool for rappers to be like, oh, I'm not a rapper. Like, I'm your favorite street nigga or something like that. But it's like, nah, I'm just a rapper. I like being a rapper.
And you shared some recording artists in that genre that, may have inspired you or were prominent with your rise in your music career and things of that nature. But do you remember how you were introduced to the genre of rap itself?
I mean, I listened to it my whole life. So when I was like literally when I was 5 years old for Christmas, I got Stank On You, the Outkast CD. Like I was always asking for CDs. I wanted to get Doggy Style by Snoop Dogg, but the cover was too much. My mom didn't let me get it. But Hot Boys, Lil Wayne, growing up. Yeah. So this is like what 2098. I'm like 5, 6 years old, listening to that. So literally, my first memories of music were hip hop.
So was it already playing in the house? Was it one of your parents or both playing it
Well,
already?
I had an
Or
older brother. He was 4 years older than me. My parents didn't really listen to hip hop. They were more like, class, like funk, jazz, and things of that nature. But they didn't like, how certain parents like will not let like I had certain cousins. They're like, oh, you can't listen to hip. They never like blocked it. So, like I said, my older brother, he kind of gave me game and like let me know, oh, this is the cool stuff, so I could go around the younger kids and be like, oh yeah, this is what y'all need to be listening to. So
now
yeah.
these Christmas gifts of these compact discs back then, were they parental advisory stickers on them or clean versions or?
Um, I, I think I used to get the clean version. I think it varied. Because I remember sometimes it would be clean, but sometimes it wouldn't be clean. So I think it varied.
Now, were your parents hip on that sort of thing back then? Because some parents were not. Some parents were just getting whatever. They
Yeah,
didn't know what they were getting. They might have looked over the parental advisory, and then there were other parents that were super strict, super sticklers on the different versions.
yeah. I don't think they really gave a fuck too much. They never really tried to like censor too much. So if they did get a clean version, I don't think it was never like, oh, we gotta find a clean like. But we might have gotten some clean ones too. So
And also, sidestepping on the topic of siblings, how many did you end up having in total?
just one, my older brother.
And same mother and father, it sounds like, for both of you.
Yes, yes.
And what was that like, being the youngest on the ladder there between you two?
It got my ass kicked a lot, but it made me the man I am today. It's kind of crazy. I thought all older siblings just like constantly beat up their younger siblings, but I've known other people, and that's not the case. So
And, some younger siblings, when they get beat up, it's usually in the early stages of life, and then, it becomes a very loving relationship with that sibling. And then some, I mean, they're still fighting to this day. Maybe not physically, but, verbally, things of that nature. Is it cordial between you two at this point? Is it more of a loving relationship between you two, or still some
yeah,
sort of
yeah.
fighting going on?
Nah, even when we did fight, it was just more like he just like watched some shit on wrestling and then he tried it out on me. Like it was never like that, like a deep hatred or anything. I love my brother, so we're cool.
And what did you learn or take away from that position, being the youngest on the ladder amongst the siblings there?
I think it just made me a leader, given that it's like I was stifled in one area. I always got the second. He gets the cereal first. He gets to play the video games first. He gets to always do so. Kind of being deprived and kind of belittled, I guess, in that way, kind of gave me the hunger. Like, okay, when I go out into the world, I'm gonna be the man now. I'm the big brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I'm not gonna take this shit twice, pretty much. So, like I said, that's why I say it kind of made me the man I am today.
And additionally, was rap the first genre of music you encountered in your life? I know you mentioned like funk and some other things that your parents played, but was rap the first genre you encountered of music? And if not, what was before it?
Yeah, rap was the first thing I encountered. Like I said, my brother, he pretty much just put me on to all the cool hip hop stuff. So
Any other memories of those humble beginnings in music for you you'll want to share with the audience today?
I made my first song. Well, it wasn't my song. It was actually my brother's song. When I was like 7 years old, because the way our neighborhood was, so my brother's 4 years older than me, but then the kids in the neighborhood were like 4 years older than him. So I'm hanging out with kids like 8 years older than me and stuff like that. So one of his friends had a studio, and they started like a little neighborhood rap group. And this is like early 2000s when the whole like Dipset like high pitched vocals on the hook and stuff. We did like boy, like oh boy and shit like that. So I had a little kid voice. So what they basically did was like they made a hook and told me to go into the booth and sing that hook. So that was like my first experience song making. Yeah.
So your brother did music as well.
Yeah, I feel like everybody in Atlanta raps though, just kind of just for fun. Maybe not take it as seriously as I do, but everybody goddamn raps.
Because you mentioned he was into it. Didn't know he was into it at the point where he was creating music himself and recording as well. Is he still active on the music side of things?
He's on a hiatus. Let's say that because he's put out some stuff, but yeah, right now he's on a hiatus right now. But don't be surprised if you see Harold Having back on the scene. He actually was best friends with B.o.B growing up, which was kind of crazy to see. Like, you know, somebody who's just like at your house hanging with your brother. Next thing you know, they're like on national TV. Like it was wild. And I think kind of that also kind of inspired me in a way to just see some like it's possible. You've seen people you know who are just regular people. Next thing you know, they're huge artists. So I think that kind of like unlocked that for me mentally, whether I was aware of it or not.
So you saw B.o.B's rise firsthand?
I'm not gonna say I saw his rise, but it was the kind of thing where it's like because it was really crazy. It was kind of like almost overnight. It's like he went to him and my brother were best friends in like elementary school, and then I think they went to like different middle schools where they kind of lost contact, but were still cool. And then next thing you know, it's like what the fuck? He's on TV, and they kind of they're still cool, I guess, to this day. Like they still talk and stuff like that. So, but it's not like I was like watching the whole thing, but we definitely knew him and like yeah, it was crazy. He was actually performing in a club one time when I was in Atlanta, a teen club. Um, and I like ran up to the stage. I was like, "Yo, it's me!" And he was like, "I thought I saw Harold out there." That's my older brother's name is Harold. So he like dapped me up in the middle of the club, which is cool. Gave me a little clout in the teen club. But yeah,
So does his success and how far he's gotten surprise you at all?
it did when it happened because it was just like, what the fuck? I never imagined it. But now really nothing surprises me, you know, because like it's kind of removed all those chains of limitation, you know. Like I said, I think anybody can do anything if you're just true to yourself and give it your all. So, but back then it was crazy to see him on TV, yeah, for sure.
And it sounds like a supportive atmosphere musically between you and your brother back in those days.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a long journey, so you know, people they may have at some point said, you know, like people care about me, so they're like, "What the fuck? You don't want to waste your life rapping and shit like this. You've been doing this all these years, like nothing's going on." So I'm not gonna sugarcoat it and be like all my family and everybody, all my friends were just supportive the whole time I was rapping. No, but um, it was always from a place of love. And now that, like I said, I've just been doing it so long and I am making progress and stuff like that. They actually respect me for it and me sticking to my guns and like just doing what I want to do.
And I probably should have been a little bit more specific with my question because you took it a different way.
Okay.
But supportive meaning like, you know, sometimes siblings, when they do music together, it can be either competitive between each other or supportive, meaning like collaborative, you know, they're helping each other out type of thing. Some it's competitive where hey, you do your own thing, I'll do my own thing. Whoever rises to the top, you know, see you at the top sort of thing.
Yeah, no, because he never really took it as like he can rap. My brother can rap, but he never really took it as seriously as I did. So it was never like a competition because I actually put out his first song. Like we were both living in my mom's house, and he was just like, "Hey, I had the studio set up because I was taking it serious. You know what I'm saying? He would just like get high and freestyle, you know, like everybody else. So I just had a microphone and shit like that, and I recorded, and he ended up putting out a song on SoundCloud too a couple of years ago.
So would you continue to collaborate with him uh, while you were growing up, or was that the main collaboration, the sample of your voice on that song?
Yeah, that was the main one. Like I said, other than that, he never really cut a record other than the song that I recorded for him.
Oh, he never cut another record after that.
Yeah, yeah. He was. My brother's like super. I'm like the creative one. He's like the money one. So he was like, I got to get to this money, man. So I'll let you go be a starving artist or whatever the fuck.
Well, what about these days? Are you a writer or a freestyling, punching in type of recording artist?
These days, I'm a punching in artist. I started off writing, then I kind of got to a space where I was like I was like writing to get the ball rolling, and then once I started recording and I got into the flow, I would do punch-ins. But it was a thing where it's like I'll play songs for people, and they'll be like, "Oh, I fuck with this part," and they would always fuck with the part where I started punching in. So I was like, "All right, well, let me just cut out the middleman. Let me just feel it." So now I'm like all about the vibe when I go into the studio. I just literally the first thing that comes to my mind, I just punch it in and go from there.
But more specifically, what led you to punch in? Were you inspired to do that by any chance, or was that just natural experimentation for you back then?
It was natural experimentation because I write really fast anyway. So like I just the process is like I go to YouTube, find a beat, start writing, and then maybe just like I'll have some extra bars left on the song. But since I'm already in it, I just maybe just started punching in and stuff like that. So like I said, and then people started to note like, oh yeah, we liked this part of the song more. I'm like, oh, that's the end of the song. I just like there was still some beat left, and I didn't have any more raps written, you know. So that's kind of how it came about.